It's the kid, 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 it's the kid. Double H, half hope, trying to live, trying to exist, trying to be the best guy that I can be. Stay real, stay true, stay sexy, stay funky, stay suave, stay suave, stay suave, suave, moave, lave, suave, moave, lave. So, without further ado, ski man, welcome to this Friday night Q&A. And I think, as I said on the video that I put out there, there's going to be just a little bit of a change, which is that what we used to do before. I will still take your live questions here. That is still going to happen. But I obviously ask you guys to head to the website, halfoffootballhot.com, and send in your well thought out questions, because I realize that not everybody can watch this live. So because you cannot watch this live, for those who miss it but still would like to send in questions, you have the chance of sending the questions beforehand through using the email form on the official website, halfoffootballhot.com. So that is what I'm going to do right now. Is I'm going to read out these loving questions. So, and I picked out four. I picked out four questions. All the questions were good, but I can only pick out four. So, without further ado, let's go to question numero uno. And this is from Vilton C. So Vilton C says, so thank you for the question, Mr. Vilton C. Says, is South America the world's toughest qualifying region for the World Cup? Maybe the quality is lower compared to Europe, but in terms of degree of difficulty, is this not the hardest? So yeah, thank you for that question, dear. So I thank you for the question. So my thing is, it is well known that CONMEBOL qualifying is ridiculously tough. It is super, super hard. And the thing about it is the amount of games you have to play. There's playing at altitude when you play. Wait, what the heck is this? There's a thing of playing at altitude when you play away against Bolivia, and it is just. And see, the thing about the quality is this: is the quality in Europe necessarily better from top to bottom? Because in South America, there are, even when you play, whether it's Ecuador or even Peru, those are still tough games based on just how. Because in South America, you have a mixture of physicality mixed with, so you have a mixture of physicality as well as quality. So technical ability, guys can dribble, guys are very skilled, but it's very aggressive as well, and it's very quick. So in Europe, yeah, you have your France, Germany, and so forth, but you also have. Don't you have Liechtenstein in there as well? Don't you have Lithuania in well? Because in a lot of those European qualifying groups, you have San Marino, you have Liechtenstein, you have Lithuania, you have Moldova. You have guys who they're there to get sniped. Okay, they're there to get reincarnated. There are no whipping boys in South America, because in South America you play everybody, so everybody is in the same group. And the way in times where Argentina almost didn't even make it, almost did not even qualify. So it is easily the toughest qualifying region at the World Cup. It doesn't let up, and I just think it's the sheer amount of games you have to play, because you're not separated in groups. So because in Europe, there's more groups, it's much more spaced out. In South America, like, you obviously play everyone twice, and there are a lot of South American countries, so they're about 16, 17, 18, and it's real hard. But obviously, based on just the skill and quality level, more times than not, Brazil and Argentina will always make it through. And then you may bring in a Colombia, you may bring in like a Peru, you may bring in a Uruguay, a Chile, and so forth. So both those guys don't make it through. But what's it called? I think it was, the 2018 World Cup, Chile didn't make it. Chile didn't make it. They were there in 2014, they were there in 2010. But I think it was like even the last qualifying match, they didn't make it. So it is very, very hard in this. So for me, I would say that is definitely the toughest one out of all of them. So Vilton C, thank you for that question, sir. Thank you for that question. So, for our next question we have is from Wrangle the Liberty Parish Chef. Wrangle the Liberty Parish Chef. Thank you for the question, dear sire. Says, people say yes They're going to play one last time. Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Over the last 13 years, they've been the thing that splits football into two sides. And even though they're two of the greatest playing at the same time, football fans were kind of toxic and soaked. Years ago, there were many players who were fighting for the Ballon d'Or. There was actually some variety. I respect Leo and Chris, but football just became some stupid Twitter fights, insults, soap opera fanboyism. Football will never be the same. Yes, football will have a fresh start. New contenders, new favorites, new variety. My question for you is, when people realize that these two's careers are ending, what will they actually feel? Great question. Great question. There are going to be two groups of people. Two groups of people. And I think I realized this when FG, aka Football God, dropped the truth bomb on me. And I use Football God because remember, because I said to Football God that when Cristiano retires, will he still continue to watch football? He says, no, I won't. I was like, oh wow. Because my mindset was everyone's a football fan. So these guys who are fans of Cristiano and Messi were fans of football before. And when they retire, they'll continue to be fans. But what I've found, now there are still football fans who are still major fans of Messi and Cristiano, but I think the guys who really idolize them, the guys who really obsess about them, these guys are like the Kim Kardashian, keeping up with the Kardashians kinds of intense fanboys, Marvel versus DC, EU kind of guys. So for these kinds of people, when they do retire, they'll go on to something else. They'll go on to something else and they'll just do something else and they'll just drive the thing into something else. So that is that group. But then there is another group, which is the group that I hope most of you guys who are of this channel are, which is the football fan group, where I've been watching football since the early 90s. For me, Messi and Cristiano they're just a concept. They're just a moment in time. So I don't view them as, oh, this was the greatest heights. How are we going to survive after this? I'm like, I'm already looking at the future, because the future is Ansu Fati. The future is Mbappe. The future is João Felix. The future is De Ligt. So we can already see the future that's in here right now. And for me, anybody that knows me, I love variety. I love things that are new. And because when I was growing up, there was Rivaldo, there was Beckham, there was Del Piero, there was Desai, Cannavaro, and Weah. So there was so many different kinds of players. I've found this boring. So the whole Messi and Cristiano thing, I find it boring. And I've always said what my view is, that Cristiano may be greater in terms of what he's done in different clubs and what he's won with different clubs, but Messi will always be the better player aesthetically and technically, and that's it. So if people want to continue, that you can do that. But I just think that, it's not football. The way that guys are arguing about this thing, it goes beyond football. It's now something deeper. It's something weirder and something a lot more odd. And for me, you say, okay, what will they actually feel? So it's those two views. One aspect, one group, they'll be like, oh my God. And I almost fear for them, because you've invested so much in them. You've invested so much into this rivalry that once they do retire, it's like, how will you now operate? But for the other group, which is the group that I'm in, what good? Because it's football. Football doesn't retire. Hopefully it doesn't, unless someone just says, oh, there's no more football. Unless China take over and China like, you know what, we're going to ban football from the world. Then I'm now going to go to Mars. But unless, hopefully that doesn't happen, football never retires. So I'm a football guy. This is a football channel. This is a Messi Cristiano channel. It's a football channel. And I'm about who are the new best football players right now. And I'm always about the new. I hate just saying, this is my guy, or football guy. Look, Hazard, once you can say something, call me. I'm not just going to be on you because I'm a fan of Hazard. So Hazard, once you're on that, once you've been able to now realize what you can do, call me, and then I can then respond to you. So it's like, as I said, I've always said that I can't wait until they retire, because it's the Messi Cristiano thing has overtaken real football discourse real football enjoyment. And I'm like, you dickhead, get off my flipping timeline with this your stupid dumbass Cristiano did more than Messi. And the thing, and this is what I just find stupid, is that what the heck has Messi done to be called this short loser? This, why are you insulting him? Why the personal insults towards Messi? So yeah, you can support Cristiano, but the reason why it's now become sick, and it's now run by sick, demented losers, when it now goes personal. Why are you now throwing personal insults towards Messi? Why are you throwing personal insults towards Cristiano? So it's, for me, it's run by guys who are sad, who have no lives, and are probably depressed. And because they have no value of their lives, they place the value into these guys who don't give a damn about them. And for them, my only thing is that get a life. Go get a life. Go outside. Have some friends. Meet a girl. Have a girlfriend or something. Do something with your life. Get out of the basement and just live. So yeah, man. But I think, but for the majority, I hope the majority of people, we're football fans. We are football fans, and we've been fans of football way before all this, and we'll be fans of football way afterwards. And because it's like when people say, "Oh my gosh, the Clasico isn't the same without Messi, Cristiano," like, I didn't watch the Clasico because of Messi and Cristiano. I watched the Clasico because it's Barcelona Real Madrid, and the most famous Clasico game of all time. Two, in fact, don't involve Messi or Cristiano. It is the one where Figo returned back to the Camp Nou and he saw the pig's head that was put towards him. And the other one was when Dino puts forth one of the best individual performances of all time, where the Madrid fans actually applauded him. So those are, so despite all the Messi Cristiano battles, the actual best, the two most infamous and the best, most revered and remembered classical matches don't even involve Messi and Cristiano. So yeah, man, it is what it is, and I just say good luck for those clowns. So moving on to the next question here. Okay, I think, you know what? I'm going to leave this one till last because I think that's a good one. Let's try with this one. So, sorry. Mistake. Let me try that again. There we go. So, from Whimsical Thought, thank you for the question there, Whimsical Thought. Thank you. Yeah, I will read the super chats. Don't worry, I will get to the super chats. Let me just get through this question, then I'll get to your super chats. From Whimsical Thoughts, who says, I did ask this question during a hangout, but the answer got derailed with the DD analysis. Anyway, just a theory. Defensive midfielders have proven to be better football managers. Pep, Didi, I think he was Didier Deschamps, Rijkaard, Simeone. So with that theory, and considering Pirlo's high footballing IQ, could we say Pirlo can be a success of Juventus? Am I being positive about Pirlo, or maybe I'm just plain deluded? By the way, please do an all-time greatest 11 with the Hangouts boys of Hazem, Muntah, Red, AL. PS, peak consistency was the greatest Hangouts of all time. Thank you very much, Whimsical Thoughts. Yeah, I will put that on the docket for us to do on the Sunday. So, I've always felt that some of the best captains or managers are guys who are defensive. Like Dino Zoff was a real good manager for Italy, and he was a keeper. Beckenbauer, supremely amazing, successful manager. He was a defender. And you look at Pep Guardiola. Again, you look at Rijkaard, Didier Deschamps, Simeone. So yeah, so I think, because for me, management is very psychological, which is why strikers don't necessarily make great managers. Not saying that strikers don't do a lot of thinking, because they have to do a lot of thinking. But that's why I loved playing in the midfield, because in the midfield it required me to use a lot of my brain, and it forced me to become intelligent. And I think you have to be intelligent to play in midfield, because there is so much quick on the ball thought processing that is involved there. So, because again, you look at, I think about it is that, I have my qualms about Deschamps, whether Deschamps is in fact that great a manager. So it's there. You can't just say that I'm a DM, I'll be a success. No. But let's look at it even deeper. Yes, deep lying playmakers. Pirlo was a very different player from Pep, Didier, Rijkaard, and Simeone. You know, and you see, Pirlo was a playmaker. Simeone wasn't a playmaker. And this is more of Rijkaard. Deschamps wasn't a playmaker. Pep wasn't. He could play make, but was not really the direct main playmaker kind of guy. He was really just sort of the guy who really kept hold of the ball and kept the ball moving. You know, the guy was a very very good decent midfielder in his day. You know, so like, and also his footballing IQ is very high. But you see, the thing about management is it's complex. It's very complex, and you're not going to tell me that Maradona did not have a high football IQ. A supreme high football IQ. He didn't end up becoming a great manager. And there are guys who have been midfielders or great midfielders who not made great managers. So there is no rule, there is no science that says if you have high football IQ, you're a DM, then there's a high chance of you becoming a great manager. No, there are just some people who have a knack for it. And there's some guys who don't have a knack for it. Management is a totally different beast from playing. Look at some of the great managers that we've had. When you look at Klopp, Pep, Mourinho, they didn't have stellar playing careers. They didn't really do much as players, but they've made amazing managers. Through in Benitez as well. Benitez, I don't think, was even ever a player. And I think that's just the thing is to drive home, which is why I keep on saying to guys about Solskjaer, about Lampard, and about Pirlo. Forget what they did as players. Forget how good they were as players. Management requires a totally different set of skills. Because in management, Pirlo, you can't go out there on that pitch and do what you can do. Pirlo, you can tell them to do these things, but they can't pass the ball as well as you did. They can't read the game as well as you did. They can't move with the grace and balance like you did. They just can't. These guys just, it's what you expect Bentancur, or Arthur to do the kinds of things that you did. No way, because they were nowhere near the kind of standard that you were. So, it's not, you're not deluded. There is some truth there, and I think that Pirlo's football brain is so vast, it's so amazing that he will be able to tell things to those players that other guys can't. Same thing with Zidane. Zidane's football IQ was on such a high level that he could just tell things specifically to Kroos, Casemiro, and Modric, because they're playing his position. Give them a bit of pointers as to this is how to find spacing, this is how to time your pass, find this angle, and just a few tricks of the trade of how to navigate the minefield of the midfield that could really help them. But there's no science. There is no science to it. Like management is a totally different skill. Like, as amazing as what Zidane has done, and amazing as what Ancelotti has done, both who are very good players, I don't think they're as good managers as a Fergie or a Mourinho. And even for Pep was a decent player. He wasn't an amazing player. He wasn't a superstar player. He wasn't a legend player, but he was a pretty damn good player. But Pep will even say to you that I am a much better manager than I was a player. But I think what you will find for a Pirlo, for Maradona and so forth, they will always be much better players than managers. Now look, I'm not saying that Pirlo is not going to say what's up to Juventus. Like everyone deserves a shot. Everyone deserves a shot, Like people thought Van Basten would turn out to be good, but it didn't work out. Look at what has happened to Laudrup. Like it didn't really work out for Laudrup. So that's just what I wanted to drive home is, put it this way. If let's say I was hiring and I was getting like, okay, boom, 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 you're not like the director of football or the owner, I would get like a Pirlo a Zidane, a Maradona, and Arnan as coaches. They'd make great coaches because you're there to give me pointers, give me ideas, talk to guys in training. But a manager, I want a guy who has a skill, because that is a very specific skill that doesn't have pretty much anything to do with playing the game. Because again, Mourinho was a keeper. Mourinho hardly played the game at a high level. Ferguson didn't play the game at the highest level. And all of these guys do not play the game at the highest level, but look at what they've been able to do as managers. So I think therein lies the truth, Yesaya. So for our final mail-in question. All right, let's open this up. Let's open this up. Come on, boy. Open it up. Open up, boy. There we go. So our final question here. Shout out to Matt. Hi, shout out to Matt. I think that might be Football United TV. So Matt says, what would be your top 10 greatest players? Specifically 5 to 10, since you already have R9, Maradona, Zidane, and Pele as a horseman. Guys, so you see, this is why it's good to do these kinds of questions, to mail them in, because I viewed this earlier on and I made sure to think about it and make a list. So you already have my 5, which are the 5 horsemen in no particular order: Pele, Maradona, Zidane, R9, Beckenbauer. So, oh shit, where's my list? Oh damn it, where's my list? I wrote, there we go. I wrote the list. So this was tough. And how I did this is, and this is my ruling, you have to win the World Cup. So that is the main thing. You have to win the World Cup. So my weighting was World Cup win, Champions League win, how good were you as a player, and what was your impact? I think greatness, see, remember, this is not about ability. This is not about ability, it's about greatness. So greatness is about World Cup, Champions League, your impact on the game, your trophy cabinets, and how influential you were as a player. So this was hard. And I could be missing a few here and there, but it is what it is. So for my number 5, let me actually just make sure that this is right. So let me just make sure it's right, because I have to get this. So number 5, boom. Then I'm gonna go with boom. Then I'll go with boom. Then I'll go with boom, boom, and then boom. So my number 5 is Ronaldinho. Number 6, Neuer. Number 7, Lam. Number 8, Xavi. Number 9, Iniesta. And number 10, Desailly. So that's my 5 to 10. So 5. So again, to explain them, so Ronaldinho is the closest thing to being a horseman. His impact on the game is profound. And I just think that very few players made as much noise as Ronaldinho. And I don't give a damn whether he was amazing for like 1 second. That's 1 second or that 1 minute that he was amazing. It was unlike anything we've ever seen in the game before. And he did things on the pitch that we've never ever seen before. For Neuer, changed keeping, revolutionized keeping, evolved goalkeeping, evolved the concepts of goalkeeping. So from that point of view, have to roll with the boy. Number 7, Lam, best right back of all time. So he's got the World Cup, he's got a treble, and for me, he is, without a doubt, no arguments being said, the best right back of all time. I know you could argue is the best goalkeeper of all time. And both of them have a treble. Well, Neuer has 2 trebles. 2 trebles. Did you hear me right? 2 trebles and the World Cup. Number 8, Xavi. He was the nucleus, the center, the heartbeat of that Spain team that won 3 international trophies in a row, and was also the heartbeat of a team that won the treble. And again, like, Whether you like it or not, I wasn't a fan of the um I wasn't necessarily a fan of the system, but the system was a mouthful, and it was almost Javi almost had to leave for them to crack the system. And I have Iniesta at 9 because I think even if I believe that Iniesta is the better player, I think because for me you can always see that Javi and Iniesta are like this. They are interchangeable. Like I would argue that I would say Javi and Iniesta are like 8 equal, that they're the same. But because I don't like to be a pussy and do that, the reason why I'd put Javi above Iniesta is the importance that Javi had to the system. That's the key thing. He was very important to the system. But for Iniesta, looks World Cup winning goal, man of the match, Euro 2012, and again he was a very important part to that Spain three-peat and to 2 trebles as well. So I mean it's interchangeable because as now as I say that, you could so very easily shove Iniesta in 8 because I'm like, because I don't think, because Iniesta was part of the second treble, which Xavi was sort of a sub on, and Iniesta got the World Cup winning goal. So, and for me, number 10, Desai, back-to-back Champions League. So one Champions League with Marseille, the one season. The very next year, he won it with AC Milan. He won the World Cup. He won the Euros. And just as a defender, with regards to being good on the ball, passing, and just control. Basically, he was one of the, because remember, because Beckenbauer was before my time. Desai was one of the first defenders that I saw that, wow, this guy's actually good on the ball. Which is why he was such a maverick, and Milan spent and wanted to go for him because it was like, yeah, this guy can defend. He knows how to tackle. He knows the responsibilities of being a defender, but he's actually a good footballer. And he had great supreme composure on the ball. So before your PKs, Laportes, and all these dudes, Desai was pretty much the prevalence ball-playing defender of the 90s. There was nobody that was as good on the ball as a defender as Desai was back in the day. And that's also what sets him apart from everyone. So that is my 5 to 10. So let me hit some of these super chats before you guys put me into trouble. Let me hit the super chats. All right. Let me ride. Oh, don't tell me you're going to take 3,000 years to open up this thing, you prick. Bear with me. I knew it. I knew you'd be a prick. But look, you see, whenever you're doing these great lists, it's always tough. And I know people will say that. And remember, to reiterate, on my greatest list, you have to have won the World Cup. I am not putting you on a greatest list if you haven't won the World Cup. That can't happen. That cannot happen. And that for me is, I am not shaking for that. So it doesn't matter what you've done in the club. And I would have loved to put Robin here. Like if Robin won the World Cup, Robin is probably 5th or 4th. Like Robin is easily 5th or 4th if he won the World Cup. But he didn't win the World Cup. He got robbed. I don't know what it says. He got my boy got robbed. But it is what it is. He did not win that World Cup, man. So, all right, let's see what you guys are saying, man. So from Los Colchoneros, I'm unhappy with Atletico, man. From 6-1 to 0-0. Well, Colchoneros, it's a long season. And let's see how the cookie crumbles. But that is worrying. Because 6-1, I was like, oh my gosh, Cannibal, boom, this guy's got it back, blah, blah, blah. Because the worrying thing is 2 0-0 draws. Is this Simeone thing truly working? And you've lost Partey. I think Partey is a massive loss for you guys. Okay, I think that is a huge, massive, closer loss for you guys because I rate Partey so highly because I just think that guy is money. But let's see where we are at Christmas. Because this is not a sprint; it's a marathon, and all because you've gotten 5 points in your 3 games doesn't mean that you've lost the league. There are still a lot more games to play. But the worrying thing though is that we saw the offensive ineptitude against Leipzig. you're seeing what João Felix can do. Is the question you always have to raise this question that has Simeone reached his peak? Has Simeone reached his peak? From Coutinho, if James played, England would have lost in 2018. By the way, yes, I think they would have. Yes, they would have. Like, I mean, England were fortunate to reach the semis because they didn't face. I mean, the best team they faced was Colombia, and Colombia didn't have their best player and literally their playmaker, the guy that defines it, which is James. And this is not saying anything. And I think England would admit that. Look, if we were lucky that James wasn't playing, if James played, because remember the game was 1-1. So if James played, it would. I mean, he would have been the difference maker for that team, for sure. From Armchair Critic, 3 best players since R9. Will Juve win Syria? 3 best players since R9. 3 best players since R9. I've got to look. I'll put. Oh, since R9. Oh, definitely Messi for sure. Definitely Messi. You have to say Messi for sure. I'm definitely going to say Robin. So it might be Messi, Robin, and probably. That's tough, man. Because I'm thinking Messi, Robin, Lewandowski, Messi, Robin, Neymar. It might have to be Messi, Robin, Neymar. I'll say that. Since R9, so yeah, Messi, Robin, Neymar. Because I know you've got Hazard, you've got it's tough, man. But then something tells me that Hazard at his best. I'm always supposed to say that Messi, Zad, Hazard at his best at the Neymar, because when you say R9, I'm thinking in the mold of an R9. So I'm thinking that high technical ability, things they can do on the ball, the impossible things they can do on the ball, and just their technical proficiency. So you have to say Messi. You have to say Messi. You've got to say. So as much as he annoys me, you've got to say Neymar. And it's a toss-up between Hazard and Robin. And I might say that I'm tempted to slide into Hazard, because I think Robin was much more of just like a sniper. So he didn't really have the kind of technical skills and kind of ability that R9 had. So yeah, probably say Hazard, Neymar, Messi. Hopefully I'm not missing out on someone. And from Beato Klum says, what are the top 5 worst starting players in top teams? Ooh, you see, these are the kind of questions that you should email me. Whenever you do anything about top 5, top 10, these are the kind of things that you should email me so I have time to rethink. But off the top of my head, because I'm sure I'll forget something, top 5 worst players that are in top teams. Well, he's out now, but it was definitely Marcos Alonso. So as of right now, because you see, Choupo-Moting, he's now moved to Bayern Munich. So let me think on this. In top teams, so because United are not really a top team. I'm tempted to say Firmino. I'm tempted to say Firmino. Let's see, Bayern Munich. That's a tough one. Because remember, in top teams, if you look, Higuain has left for Juventus, so I would have said Higuain. But see, a lot of the guys I would have said Choupo-Moting for PSG, he's left. Higuain for Juventus, he's left. Marcos Alonso for Chelsea, he's pretty much already been frozen out. Costa. Diego Costa, 1000%. Diego flipping Costa. Dude is trash. Dude is complete, total garbage trash. So him for sure. Um, hold on, am I missing one? PSG. See PSG, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Juventus. Let me say anything from Juventus. No. Well, if Buffon plays at Abram 3 game, boom, Buffon in there. Bonucci. Some might say Bonucci. Some might say Bonucci. I'm tempted to throw in Bonucci in there. Inter Milan. Is there anyone from Inter? Candreva has been alright. Candreva has been alright. So I will not throw. Candreva has been alright. Let's see. So Liverpool. You can say how good for Mendy. Benjamin Mendy for sure. So yeah, those are the ones in there. From Biologic, Boateng, Maldini, Pogba, Mateus. No, because yes, because I know you're saying with the whole World Cup thing. Stefan Givash has a World Cup. Arbeloa has a World Cup. And Stefan Givash is not better than a fly. Okay? Arbeloa is irrelevant. So it's not just about winning the World Cup. That is just a specific requirement for me to even acknowledge what you've done. First of all, have you won the World Cup? Now, how good of a player are you? What has been your impact? What has your career been? So for Stefan Givash, you've won the World Cup. Nothing else you've done has been of relevance. Pogba, you've won the World Cup. You're looking fun in the lights right now. You're looking real fun in the light right now. Boateng, you've won the World Cup. Put some respect on Boateng's name. Put some respect on Boateng's name because that guy, he marked Messi. That guy had Messi in his pocket in the World Cup panel. Put some respect on Boateng's name. That's what I'm saying. Just put some respect on his name. That's what I want. Just please put some respect on his name. Bomb debates from Davonte Spiel. Roger versus Nole versus Rava eviscerates footy. No, it doesn't. Like, okay, let me tell you this whole tennis thing, man. Because this is actually a football thing, but fair enough, you threw it in there. First of all, nothing will ever compete against football. I love tennis. I love watching tennis. I've been watching tennis since the days of Steffi Graf, Lindsay Davenport, Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, and Ivanisevic. So I've been watching the tennis for a long time, and I love tennis. Love it, but it's simple. Rafa Nadal is the greatest. Is it clay court player of all time? Basically, whatever the surface is on French Open, Nadal is the greatest there. Federer is the best and the greatest tennis player of all time. It is what it is. Even if Djokovic may win more than him, the way that Federer played the game, the beauty he played the game, the technique he brought, is St. Jordan. He just made it beautiful to watch tennis. And I think like Nadal is very much about aggressive, but there was just much more of a grace and a beauty aesthetically to how Federer played the game. So for me, Federer will always be the greatest tennis player of all time. As of right now, pound for pound, Djokovic is the best. Pound for pound, Djokovic is the best. And with the way things are going, if they don't kick him out of US Opens, Djokovic may end up getting the most Grand Slams. Because obviously Nadal and Federer, they're heading towards the end. Federer is just going to Nadal is just going to take over French Open and continue to say, look, because nobody is touching his French Open wins. He's totally owned that surface. But when we not take everything into account, I think Djokovic is going to end up probably with most Grand Slams. I don't believe there will never in our lifetime be a tennis player who plays the game as well as Federer did. And it is what it is. He will always be the best tennis player of all time. From the Undisputed, Neymar or Kaká, better career, better player? Neymar has the better... Neymar is the better player. Kaká has the better career. Like, hands down, Neymar is the better player. Like, dribbling, playmaking, passing, what he can do as an individual, and just his ability is easy outshines Kaká. That the Champions League that Neymar won the treble is fully shared with Messi and a peak cannibal. It is what it is. He played his part. It is fully shared with those two. Um, Kaka was the main reason Milan won the Champions League in 07. 05, we know what happened, but he's the main reason they won in 07. And he has a Copa America, so he was the main reason and the superstar that led Brazil to a Copa America win, and is the main reason and the superstar that led AC Milan to that win in 07. So taking those things into account, Kaka has the better career. So let's see what y'all are saying, man. All right. Say that as athletes, they are clear of football. Okay, I could agree with that. Yeah, because I mean, when you look at, especially when you look at some of the matches that Federer and so when you look at the matches that Federer and Nadal used to have, these guys were playing for ages, especially in Wimbledon, 5 sets ages. So the stamina you need to have for that physically is insane. Because remember, like in tennis, it just keeps on going. Like football is no more than 120 minutes, and then it then goes to penalties. But in tennis, no, we are here until someone wins. So we'll keep on going to that tie break until someone wins. So, and those are some of the greatest matches in tennis history, where the Federer, Nadal, 5 set classics are in Wimbledon. So that's my thing, man. It changed into step. This is the thing about Stefan Givash. Giroud didn't score a goal for France, but he helped the team. He was helpful for the team, and he still helped to combine and link play. Stefan Givash has to give back that World Cup medal. This dude literally did nothing. You were the striker of this team. You're the striker of this team, and you contributed nothing. Djougari helped out. Thuram helped out. Zidane helped out. Blanc helped out. All these guys chipped in to score. You literally did nothing. So it was as if they were playing with 10 men. So yes, I have beef against Stefan Givash because you did nothing to deserve that World Cup. So you have to give back that flipping World Cup medal. You did absolutely nothing. You did absolutely nothing, bro. Oh man, this. All right. All right. What do we say, man? Oh, did I miss one? Oh, so I'm checking who ranks higher, Ibra or Aguero, and why? Oh wow, who ranks higher, Ibra or Aguero, and why? I've got to think on that. Both have never played a Champions League final. Both have loads of league titles. Prolific goal scorers. Ibrahimovic, because of what he's done in different leagues. So, success in Spain, success in Italy, success in France, success in Holland, being the main superstar for all those teams, and also like some of the kinds of goals he has scored. So they've both been prolific goal scorers. Maybe Homeboy has been more prolific than him, specifically in the Premier League. But I just think that the fact that Ibrahimovic has been able to go to different leagues and say, what's up? I think that for me really tilts the scale in Homeboy's view, man. Homeboy's view. So, all right, what else are we saying, man? What else are we saying? All right, what are we saying, man? What are we saying? But for me, I always say, like, look, man, and I'm gonna do like a little vid on it, man, because Ibra is a strange one, because I'm like, How can a player so good, so talented, being able to do the kind of things that he can do? Because Ibrahimovic has pulled off some of the craziest moves I've ever seen. Like the scorpion kick, the overhead scissors kick, that goal that he scored for Sweden at the Euros. He's scored some crazy goals. So the free kicks, the long rangers. How did this dude never manage to even? Because you should have won a Champions League. You should have won a Champions League, and there is no excuse for you not to win a Champions League. So you just say to yourself, how was this dude not able to win a CL, man? It's wild. It's wild, man. Um, Start one, bench one, and sell one. Son, Gnabry, Di Maria. I'll start Gnabry. I'll sell Di Maria, and I'll probably bench. You know what? I might. Yeah, no. That's what I'll do. Because something tells us I may want to bench Di Maria because of what he can do coming off of the bench. Because Di Maria coming off the bench, he can do things that can really change the whole thing. But if you're saying as of right now, yeah, I'll start Gnabry, bench Son, and sell Di Maria. Because as of right now, Gnabry is one of the most informed players, and Son is in crazy form. And I think that Son will probably be more effective coming off the bench than starting. I think Gnabry does better as a starter than he does as an impact player coming off of the bench, man. So that's how I'll roll, man. Because I mean, like in 2020, are we now saying Di Maria is as good as Son and Gnabry right now? Is that what we're saying? Like, hopefully, we're not saying that. Okay, hopefully, that's not where we're going with this, because Di Maria can pop up and doing everything, but Di Maria's peak was 2014. That was his peak, and you say to yourself that, look, man, if Di Maria plays that World Cup final in 2014, because remember, he was money for Real Madrid in 2014, he was key. So if he plays for Argentina and he's fit in that final, I still think they lose. Man. And guys, man, what's it called? Because I was doing like a Patreon vid where I just sort of like did some commentary on 7-1, man. Guys, man, like it's just short. Like watching it, it's actually just scary watching it. Just witnessing that whole thing go down is actually scary. It sends shivers down my spine. I'm like, man, this is bad. Like this is just so bad of what is happening, man. So literally you're like, because you're looking at the goals going, and at the same time, you're just looking at people just crying. You're looking at the whole thing just crying. And that's another thing that I've always said about Brazil. So Brazil, most of your population are dark-skinned people. But in this huge, massive stadium, I just see guys who are fair-skinned and mostly Caucasians. That's I always found that odd about Brazil. But yeah, man, it's like, that was just so messed up. Brazil went into a World Cup on home soil, and their starting striker was Fred. A dude called Fred. I mean, bro. Yeah, I mean, no, look, 7-1 will. That is. Because as I say, I always go a step further. Because people talk about, Tyson biting Evander Holyfield. The whole Ben Johnson thing was, it was sort of afterwards. So it wasn't a thing of where he did it at the same time like Ben Johnson. He did it afterwards. You can't name me a more infamous sporting moment than 7-1. That's my thing. You cannot name me more than that. Like that just really took things to the next level with regards to bro, these guys they got it was 5-0 after 28 minutes. After 28 minutes, it was 5-0. That's sick. Like literally, I mean literally that is just absolutely sick and disgusting, man. Um Shout out to Min Man Emmanuel Arthur, my Emmanuel Arthur. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Says HH, can Kai Havertz be Chelsea's new Michael Ballack? Well, Emmanuel, totally different players. Completely, totally different players. Michael Ballack was a box to box. Literally, he was a prime pure box to box player. So he could tackle, he could pass, he could shoot. So he was able to sort of like encapsulate everything that you would want from pretty much from a footballer. Kai Havertz, I think, is much more of a flair player, and he's much more technical. And I just think that his real skill is he's primarily a number 10, and he's a goal scoring number 10. Like see, like a David Silva was just a pure number 10. But he's a goal scoring number 10 who he can create, he can play, make passing is his main thing, but he can also G up as well. Ballack's game and his role and what he did was as a box to box. I think, because put it this way, I'll be real with you. I don't think Chelsea have had quite a player like Kai Havertz who is primarily a playmaker number 10. Chelsea have never really had that. They've just had multifunctional midfielders. You know, like Lampard wasn't a number 10, he was an attacking midfielder, so he just buzzed from midfield and hit through. But Chelsea have never really had a guy. Tell a lie. You could argue Mata. The closest thing to that was Juan Mata. So Juan Mata was probably the closest thing to a number 10 playmaker that Chelsea had. But apart from Juan Mata, they've never really had that dude. So for Havertz, it's a totally different thing. And I think that for a team that's as attacking as Chelsea, and we wait for the edge. I am counting down the days for the edge because, guys, the edge should come back. So they've not had that. So I don't want to hear that trash name said here. Please don't say that name called Oscar. I don't want to ever see that garbage name anywhere around. I don't ever want to say that garbage name ever around. But okay, I'm seeing Deco. That's a good argument. Deco is a good argument. Deco is a good argument. Oscar, not really, because the dude was trash. Dude was completely and utterly trash, man. But look, man, as I said again, look, I am just waiting for my guy, the Yetch, man. And the reason why I don't want to talk too much about the Yetch is because I don't want to now preach about the Yetch, talk about him, then the guy now ends up being trash. That's what I want. So please, footballing elders, the footballing elder out there, please, don't let me tempt fate. Don't just make a thing of where I'm now excited about the Yetch. I preach about the Yetch. He now comes in and he's now complete and utter trash and gutter trash. Please don't do that. Please. And we need to say what's up against that. So we need to say what's up against that. We need to say what's up against that to Chelsea. We need that CL. I need that CL. I told you guys, I'm dreaming of a CL every single season. Okay? 2012 was too long ago. And also, my life was a bit upside down in 2012. My life is still upside down, but still, this is the perfect time to please deliver half up what it needs. Chelsea need that CL. We need that CL. It is very much needed. Shanty boy, amateur critic. Why do most people in London? Who do most people in London regard the GOAT? There's a lot of love for Cristiano. But then again, it's who you speak to. But I think there is a lot of love for Cristiano. And do you know why there's a lot of love for Cristiano? It's because he played in the Premier League. And because he played in the Premier League, people now sort of feel closer to him. But it's definitely an age group thing, but I think so. Like I don't know what everyone in London thinks, but from the people that I speak to and I talk to, um, so guys like of my age group, they may look at R9, they may look at Ronaldo, but then they'll then say, "Oh no, look at what Messi has done at Christians." But I do feel that a lot of people in London side more towards Cristiano because of what he did in the Premier League. And I think because people witnessed sort of the Cristiano in the Premier League, they feel closer to him than they do those other dudes, man. So man, there's some real weirdos in this live chat, and it just shows that in this world there are just some true psychopaths, man. There's some true psychopaths in this thing, man. Um, where do you rate Diego Milito as strikers of his generation? Milito was a one-season thing, a great season, superb season. Maradona messed up not putting him as a striker ahead of Higuain. Higuain did not deserve to start ahead of him. Superb season, but that's all it was. You know, like all he had was just that 2009-2010 season where he was superb. He came clutch, scored both goals in the final. But you can't even rate him because so 2010. So what's 2010? 2010 is Eto territory. That's David Villa territory. That's Fernando Torres territory. So when we're looking at those kinds of guys, you're not going to put him in the category of those guys. It's not happening. So Henry was still knocking about. Well, Henry was sort of on his way down. But we won't put him in the category of Henry, Eto, Shevchenko had already retired by then, I believe. So that's the thing. From the Undisputed, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Undisputed. Says rank Giggs, Beckham, Robben, Ribery, Nedved. Well, Beckham is definitely last, so let's start there. So if you go from top to bottom, let's go from bottom to top. So Beckham at the bottom, followed by Nedved, Giggs, Ribery, Robben. You know, like Robben and Ribery have to be at the top. I would put Giggs above Nedved. You know, Giggs was money, man. Nedved was good. Giggs was money, and Beckham at the bottom. And let me just say this, like, that narrative that's going around that Beckham, because he was involved in a treble-winning team, deserved to win the Ballon d'Or ahead of Rivaldo is sickening. Anybody that entertains that trash, that's David Beckham, a cross merchant, is in the same stratosphere as flipping Rivaldo. You're sick in the head. You are sick in the flipping head. And I will never entertain such trash. From Andrew says that, do you think Ole will get sacked this season? Yes, I believe he will. Unless something miraculous happens and he just manages to turn things over, and he could. It's national break. Guys can rest. And maybe during this rest period, and it has happened before, having an international break or a long break helps you to reassess things and come in new. So it could happen. But my gut instinct, my footballing sixth sense, says to me that this dude is now going to get found out. And I believe that the longer seasons go through, the more rookies will get found out. And the more the fugazes and the fakes will get exposed. And I just think that him as manager is going to get exposed. Because yes, he went on that amazing winning run where he deserved to get the job because look, he's winning. But it looks like he gets sacked, they hire Pochettino. And if this dude next 3 games he messes up, he does not win, and they're still languishing at the bottom half, yeah, they'll pull the plug. okay, they'll pull the plug. And it is what it is. Look, the Solskjaer is living off what he did in 1999. That's it. He's living off what he did in 1999. And because of that, it is he has the job. He has a job because of what he did in 1999. He's not a good manager. He doesn't know what he's doing. He shouldn't have the job. He doesn't deserve to have the job. So, but he will get found out. He'll get found out for sure. Do you think we have to give Ancelotti respect because he's taking a lower tier team like Everton to the top, while Pep just goes to top clubs and not build teams? Yeah, no, look, we have to, man. I mean, 100%. Like, I mean, because when he went to Bayern Munich, that didn't work out. The players sort of revolted. Everybody was like, okay, this guy's done. Ancelotti is finished. But then, I was like, well, chill. He goes to Napoli and he actually does well at Napoli. And he was never sacked by Napoli. He just decided to leave because I think him and De Laurentiis, they fell out. So, but it's early days. And save this tweet, clip this if you can. Liverpool are going to beat Everton. Well, it's going to be a draw. Because it's at Everton's crib, it'll be a draw. Everton won't beat Liverpool. I see that being like a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw, probably a 1-1 draw. But 100%, they've been amazing. They've been amazing so far. But guys, it's too early to know. If, let's say, at the end of the season, they now come 10th, then they'll be like, okay, they started well, but now what? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But if we're just assessing right now, I like a larger sample size. I like to see, let's see you after 15 games, after 20 games. But as of right now, bro, Calvert-Lewin is on one. James Rodriguez is a guy reborn. But I want to just see, can you consistently maintain this? Can you consistently keep this going? If you can consistently keep this going, then all right. Then I'm gonna give you that dub, man. I'm gonna give you that dub. So yeah, this is what I was saying on the members stream last night. I'm not going to come out and say Calvert-Lewin is one of the best strikers in the world. He's on form. But I'm not going to put him in the same category as Lewandowski, as Aubameyang, as Salah, and proven goal scorers over a multitude of years. It's been 3-4 games, an amazing 3-4-5 games, but it's only been 3-4-5 games. Is he going to still be in form after 20 games, after 28 games, after 30 games next year? So let's chill. Let's pump the brakes. I don't want to see Calvin Lewandowski. I don't want to see any of that trash. But as of right now, he's been money. As of right now, he's saying what's up. As of right now, he's definitely on point. But I'm sorry, I'm not putting him as one of the best strikers in the world. No. Because this is just purely a form thing. And that is a separate argument as, oh, he's on form. I'm not putting, all because you're on form doesn't mean I should not put you, like, if I was ranking him, I'm going to rank him probably tier 2. And he's going to stay tier 2, So if I now want to put him upper tier 2, bro, I need you to now really sustain this for the rest of the season. He should really be upper tier 3. He should really be upper tier 3, really. So, look, man, I'm not calling Calvert-Lewin one of the best strikers in the world. No, I'm not. Let's see whether you can ball against Liverpool. Let's see how well you ball in the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10 games. Never be a prisoner of the moment. Always chill and be like me. Always be a harsh critic. Make players work hard for that seal of approval. Really, really say it now. I want to see it again. See it again. See it again. See it again. Because the reason why Lewandowski is what Lewandowski is Lewandowski has been doing this season after season, year after year, and is maintaining the whole thing. So it is an insult and a disrespect to a Lewandowski or an Aubameyang mentioning Calvert-Lewin in the same category as those dudes. Don't do that. That's disrespectful. Have some respect. Mameno, thank you for super chats. What's your thoughts on a Winter World Cup in 2022? You see, I want to maintain my good relationship with FIFA, because I'm hoping, touch wood, FIFA can cut the check. I'm hoping FIFA can cut the check. But how do you hold a World Cup in winter? How? Think about it. Summer is where it's warm most places in the world. The whole point of a World Cup is during the summer holidays. It is a festive event. I don't want to be wearing a flipping Vin Diesel Triple X suit or four coats while watching the World Cup. But my thing is because people will say, well, don't be such a snob. Why are you only restricting the World Cup to specific countries? Why can't other countries host the World Cup? And that's a fair point. That's a fair point. And I'm sure that because Qatar is a beautiful place. It is a beautiful place, and I've heard some amazing things about Qatar. Some absolutely amazing things. But it's just going to be hard to readjust to having a World Cup in the winter. So, okay, so let me get this straight. So this is the 2020, 2020, 21 section. So that means the 2021, 2022 season. So what it will now run through to the summer, or there'll have to be more games being played. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, Grealish isn't here to relax. I'm not. Grealish isn't here to. Okay, don't embarrass my thing like that, man. It's. No. Basically, that's the football season of 2021-22 has to be completely flipped. So obviously, what you'll see happen is, games will run through the summer. I mean, basically, it's just going to be messy. Games will like run through the summer because you obviously have to have. I mean, what the hell? So what? So you're not going to play what's in November and December? I mean, what? Man, that's just messed up, man. Okay, let me say this again, guys. This is why I made the video. Any question about all time versus all time, it is better that you send it to me via the form on the website. Because when it's all time 11 versus all time 11, I need time to think. I cannot give that to you live here right now. So when you send that to me earlier on, I can do so. All this your all time this versus all time this. So send this to me via the form on the website, and then your boy will be able to respond in kind, man. So that's the thing, man. All right. Ichich, you said Willian can rival Messi. Explain that nonsense. No, look, or just look. It will look. It was based off his goal against Tottenham. That's what I'm saying. You know, and I just think Willian, for that point in time, he was saying, "What's up?" Okay, so don't hate. Don't hate. Okay. So why are you hating on William? Why are you hating on William? Why are you hating on this your boy? So guys, what are we saying about Euros, man? Very quickly, guys, because again, I told you I was watching some World Cup videos earlier today. Let me say this right now. I 100,000%. If we're having a World Cup, there have to be fans in the stadium. Fair enough. November, December. Fine. Okay, cool. It's fine. We're all family here. Because this whole COVID crap, I don't know how long this COVID crap could last for. This COVID crap could last for like the next 50, 20 years, man. Because we could be living this thing for this whole time. Trump is spreading wild in about. I think Trump has been COVID. But one thing is clear though, and this is non-negotiable. Under no circumstance can we have a World Cup where there are no fans. Champions League, the whole point of the World Cup is it is a cultural event. It is the global event. You can't have a World Cup with no fans. Okay? Like, who cares about any of these club ultras? Man, shut up, man. I want to see my Brazilian chicas. I want to see the colors of Nigeria. I want to see those beer belly England dudes. I want to see those crazy flipping Italians. I want to see the Spanish guy with his flipping guitar. That is a vital part of the World Cup are the fans, because you're just seeing all the different cultures and identities, man. So that is key. That is key. You see, fans for countries are far more vital than fans for clubs. Fans for clubs, guys. Let's can we be real? Can we be real? Clubs, it's a business. It's a business. It's a means of employment. It's a company. But the club's history. No. Countries are real, because country is cultural identity. There's no cultural identity for a club. I go in there, I get paid, I move on. It's a means of employment, But the World Cup is where that is why I've always wanted to go to a World Cup. I've always wanted to go to a World Cup, and the closest I went to being in a World Cup was France '98, because I was living in Geneva then. And just some messed up stuff. I don't want to go into it, but basically, I could have gone, because literally, Geneva is right next to France. So, for some reason, I just couldn't go, man. But that was the closest I went to a World Cup. But yeah, I've always wanted to go to a World Cup. Now, Qatar, man. If some of you guys can loan me something, or if a nice, beautiful Qatari lady friend could maybe, house me, maybe I could do something, man. All right. Okay, let's see. What do we say? Man? Might sound wrong, but I love supporting my club over my country. Oh no, look. There's nothing wrong with that. And in England, way more people prefer their club over their country. There is nothing wrong with that. Like, let's say you come from, let's say, Trinidad and Tobago, you come from Alaska or Greenland or from Chad. Those countries are never sniffing a World Cup. So it makes more sense for you to have much more of a passion for your club than it is for your country. And that is all fair. That is all fair. So for me, I'm like, see, I'm just looking from a personal point of view. Like, of course, in general, fans matter. In general, fans always matter. And fans are what makes football cool. But when I'm watching the Champions League, I'm not like, oh man, damn it, if only there were fans there. If only there were fans there. I'm watching it for the highly skilled players, watching it for the players. But for the World Cup, it's everything. It's the highly skilled players, it's the best players in there, knowing that they want to win it for their country. But seeing the colors of Argentina, the colors of Nigeria, the colors of South Africa, the colors of Brazil, of England, of Japan, of South Korea, it's amazing to see. And amazing just to see different cultures on display, because that's when you really see different people really express their traditions and their cultures. Like, one of the most amazing sights to see is whenever Holland play, because orange is such a strong color and it's such a color that you can't ignore. Just seeing a sea of orange is such a striking visual every time that you see the World Cup happening, man. So, no, look, man, the World Cup is special, man. Like, it is such a special thing event, which is why your goats need to win the trophy. Your goats need to win that trophy. I'm sorry, it is non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable, man. Hey, big up Trinidad, man. Big up Trinidad, man. Big up Trinidad. Like I said, look, man, with the way things are going, man, it's not gonna be any it's not gonna be any closer until they win, man. I love international football, but the friendlies are not it. Friendlies are trash. Always been trash, which is why I, if I have nothing to do, I'll put up a friendly in the background, because I'm always about things that mean something. It's called a friendly. What do I care about it if a friendly? It doesn't mean anything. Hence why I can't wait for Sunday, because Sunday we have, I believe, England, Belgium. Then I think it's England, Belgium first. Then in the evening, France, Portugal, Nations League. So that is a competitive game being played. So I cannot wait for that game to be played. So, and yeah, the friendlies are trash. No one cares. It's annoying, but managers need them, because they need them to experiment. Because you have such a limited time with your countries, the more matches you have, the more times you can use to experiment, change, divulge, change, undo all those different kinds of things, man. So that's the reality. That is the reality. That is the reality. Reality. So from Amchukritik, man, thank you for super chat. Amchukritik says that, how big of a success will La Liga be for Barcelona? It shouldn't be that big of a success because of how many times they've won it. And despite everything that has happened, they're still one of the favorites because they still have Messi. But despite everything that has happened, despite the issues they've had behind the scenes, Bartomeu is not going to get a vote of no confidence. If for me, it will depend on how they win it. So if it's a case of where they win it via the last day of the season, okay, pretty good. If let's say they win it like by 10 points with like 4 or 5 games to spare, then that would be a major success. So if you win it so convincingly, so emphatically, despite everything that happened and all of the distractions, then that's why you say, no, that will then be a great success. And for me, I think it could be a 3-horse race. I think it could be a 3-horse race with Sevilla, Madrid, Barcelona. I am not convinced with Real Madrid. I feel that they're still very thin in attack, and Madrid are going to be far too over-reliant on Benzema and Vinicius. But for Barcelona, Griezmann. Griezmann is lost, man. And I told you guys that Griezmann would do this as a side check. And for Griezmann, if this guy isn't playing as a support striker, how sad it is. 2 of the key men for France. Let's even go deeper. What has happened to Matuidi? Sort of gone off the map, left Juventus and sort of was vilified by Juve fans wrongfully. Pogba. Pogba has just gone way off the map, man. I mean, the longer he stays at United, the more and more he's destroying his career, man. And this guy, you are absolutely ripping your career apart. And so I even almost feel it's almost even difficult for me to even say, hey, Pogba, the World Cup winner. Because I'm like, yeah, the World Cup winner who is breaking it up against several teams like Brighton, Tottenham, and so forth. And for Griezmann, again, look at him out on the periphery. So, and Griezmann and Pogba were so crucial for France during their World Cup runs. And just to see how much they're struggling at their clubs and how their stock has just sort of dipped since 2018, it's sad. It's sad, man. It's sad. But that is just the harsh reality that we call football, man. All right. What are you saying? What are you guys saying, man? What are you guys saying? Um. Why do you people call this game? Why they call it Air Conditioner Milan? Oh, I'm so slow. I'm so slow. AC Milan, Air Conditioner. Oh man, look, man, people are wild, man. People are wild. Um, United fans will rate him as the best midfielder in the EPL. You see, and this is something that I think I know it won't stop, but fans have to stop doing this. Is that all because a dude plays for your club doesn't mean he has to be amazing, and all because a guy plays for your club doesn't mean that you have to have excuses for him. You see, this is something that is different between club fans and international fans. I feel that fans of countries, they are far more critical of their players, and they're a lot more ready to really go after their players, and they don't so easily defend any of the players if they mess up at a major tournament. But for club fans, they have much longer tempers, and they are far more forgiving of their best players until it reaches a point where they cannot defend them anymore after too many bad performances. But it's a long time until it gets there. So, and the crazy thing is that United fans will give you excuses about Pogba is this, he needs to be unlocked, he's this, he's that, he's still quality. But then the moment that Pogba now leaves Juventus, you'll see them just trashing Pogba because Pogba is trash, he uses his crap because he no longer plays for the club. But my thing though is that you can still love your club. You can still support your players, but you can still tell the truth. And the truth is, United should have offloaded a Pogba and gotten money for him a long time ago because this isn't working. Because if United, you got Pogba, sold him, and you used the money to get somebody who actually knows how to defend rather than that English fridge, you get another central midfielder to partner in there with Van der Beek, and you get like a striker. But the Pogba United thing, it's a bad marriage, man. It's a bad marriage that I thought would have ended much earlier in divorce. But my thing now is, what's going to happen with Pogba? Where does he go? Like, how does he go to Real Madrid? Because like they said that like Real Madrid is a dream. I would still like to play for Real Madrid and everything, bro. The way you're playing, why would Zidane want to go in for you the way that you're playing? And it can't be a thing of he's only playing like this because of how trash the team is. But if he now goes into Real Madrid, he will now be amazing. That's too much of a risk. It's too much of a risk to be like, nah. Because I believe, but I could be wrong, but I do believe that you put Pogba around better players, i.e. at Juventus or at Real Madrid, you will see a better player. And You put Pogba in a team where he doesn't have that much responsibility and he just has a very specific role that isn't a controller, you will see a much better Pogba, which is what he had at Juventus, because Pirlo, Vidal were doing much more of the controlling. Pogba could just sort of pick his moments. For France, France were a counter-punching team. They were a counter-attacking team. And Pogba was just there to pick his moments. But for United, they've given him too much responsibility. You're the guy that's... Because Pogba is not a controller. He's not a controller of the game. He's an impact player. He picks his moments. So he's there to offer some defensive work, offer some midfield work, offer some attacking work. And that is great to have because you never know where he can pop up, whether he can be pop up with the wing, striker, number 10. So, but United just do not have a quality central midfielder. You know, like if they had a Thiago Alcantara or they had a Toni Kroos, that would help Pogba a lot. And so that's what people say, okay, how many players do you need to unlock Pogba? There's only one player. A pure, natural central midfielder. Pogba isn't a natural central midfielder. He is a multifunctional, multi-purpose midfielder. So, playing in central midfield, you're not going to get great performances, guys. You cannot give, you're not going to get great performances, man. Rennes is beating Chelsea, and I believe this 17-year-old that you're referring to is Mr. Camavinga. Look, and also I'm even hearing some worrying news that apparently Mendy might be injured, which means that it's back to either Kepa or Caballero, which is filthy, disgusting news. Absolutely horrible news. But fear not. I still hopefully believe that Chelsea can hold down the fort. Because Chelsea have to aim to win that group. You're going to aim to win that group. And Rennes are not going to be easy. Rennes are not going to be easy. But Chelsea have no business losing to Rennes, either home or away. Specifically with the kind of firepower that Chelsea have, the players they have no business losing to those guys. Which is why, Lampard, I am begging you, please, 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 even when everyone is fit, settle on a team. Settle on a team. I get it. Semi's minimum. I get it. Semi's minimum. It didn't happen. Because Bayern Munich were the eventual winners. So give me that. Chelsea did lose to the eventual winners. Stepped in the way. But I am cautiously optimistic that Chelsea can do something because I see supreme, incredible, amazing talent in this Chelsea team. Werner still needs to say what's up. I get it, understand. But once these guys can combine, which is why it is so annoying that Ziyech has been unfit and injured for these few games, because what is needed, what we need are Ziyech, Werner, and Havertz to form an alliance, to form the trio. The trio of that's what I'm calling it, the trio of destruction, for them to form the trio of destruction, and for that trio of destruction to say what's up. That is what is needed for them to say what's up, man. All right, let's just see. Which African nation do you think will be the first to win the World Cup, and when will it be? I have no idea. I have no idea. That is an impossible question to answer. It's impossible because so much of the African talents now play for France, Belgium, England. So it is literally impossible to even comprehend an African team winning when so much of the best talent has gone and will keep on going and moving to play for other countries. So it's an impossible question. And they say, when will it be? Someone told me, outside of thingy, who's going to get the whole thing? My thing is um the first country outside of Europe or South America to win the World Cup, I don't think will come from Africa. Most likely, it's either going to be America or Japan, or maybe even South Korea. Because remember, South Korea got to the semis, but that was on home soil. It's going to be either an Asian country or America. Actually, no, well, I did say Mexico. I did say Mexico. But Mexico just can't get over that second round. See, if Mexico, because Jimenez is cool, but I wouldn't call Jimenez like a superstar. I'll just call him like a very good player, like an upper tier 3, tier 2 kind of player. But if Mexico somehow produce a superstar player, like an amazing, amazing superstar player, then there is a good chance that they could do something. Because Mexico are probably the best footballing nation outside of Europe and South America. You know, you'd probably say that they are the best. Because if we now look at the African countries, the Asian countries, the North American countries, the Oceanic countries, like Nigeria just have a very young team. They have a very, very young team. So, but Mexico, they're just technically the best and just know how to play football the best. You see, America will only win it if they fully embrace football and they invest in football. But America still have their head stuck up their ass because because of their arrogance, they're like, nope, it's about the Super Bowl, man. It's about the Super Bowl, man. You know, the Patriots, you know, all that nonsense. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the field. So, America, you've got to take this thing seriously. Because if you don't invest, you don't get proper coaching, and you don't really try and take it seriously in developing players, you're not sniffing a World Cup. You're not beating a Brazil, an Argentina, a Spain, a Germany, and you're not beating any of these dudes. And Italy, no, you're not beating any of these dudes. But I just think that I think America don't want to accept that you cannot produce a sporting event bigger than the World Cup. You just can't. The world aren't going to sit down and watch American egg ball, which is what the Super Bowl is. Okay, American egg ball is cool. It's cool, but no one is going to send it. People only tune into the Super Bowl for the halftime show. Halftime show. Can we see someone do a few dances and what movie trailers are being shown? I've seen it. Okay, bye. I'm now done. Okay, the World Cup, it'll always be the daddy. Football will always be the daddy. Nothing, no sport is ever beating football. You know. But look, as I say, everything that's begins ends. Because remember, there was a time when boxing was the biggest sport in the world. So if we're looking through the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the biggest sport and the biggest athlete in the world was boxing. Now, for that 90s period, you had Jordan, who helped to popularize the NBA. But I think, once Tyson sort of started to go down, that is when we now saw, because really I think the big one was the 94 World Cup, which was held in America. Because I was, look how well this whole thing is doing. But then the 98 World Cup was huge. And I think as Tyson went down, R9 came in, because I think R9 was the next global superstar after Pele. You know, which is why Ronaldo did a lot to really help to take the torch of football being the leader in the world. You know, so that's the thing, man. Why does the Super Bowl have a halftime show? Because it's about glitz and glamour. It's not about sport. Like America is, and this is the beauty of America. Why we love America is that they're about entertainment and about the larger than life and so forth. And because the NFL is the biggest sport in America, they're like, let's have a halftime show because we have so many eyeballs on this event, which is the NFL. So the halftime show is pretty much, it's a way of making money. It's a way of making a whole lot of money because movie studios will spend crazy amounts. Because again, as I said, to get a trailer or an advert on the halftime show is millions. Millions. They charge millions. So it's all about that. It's all about that cash money, man. It's all about that cash money. But it's like, I think for America just have a very insular psychology because most Americans don't own a passport. So if you don't own a passport as an American, how can you even respect football? So for most Americans, like, why are we investing in football when all I know is America? I've never left this country. The biggest sport in this our small world is the NFL. So who cares about the World Cup? And that's a compelling argument. If all you know is America, and just that section of America is all you sort of really recognize. So, I can see that, man. I can see that, man. Did you see the chances Portugal missed versus Spain? Well, I saw the one where Cristiano, outside of his foot, gave the pass to Sanchez, and Sanchez hit the bar. Cristiano hit the bar with his left foot. No, look, I mean, Spain looks good, but they were not really penetrating. And the funny thing with Spain is you're now going to, like, Ansu Fati and Traore is what's going to help define them, the Blacks. Because once Traore came on, they had much more penetrative power. But yeah, it was a classic thing. Spain had the possession, Portugal had the better chances. And I could just say that Portugal countered them very well. And I think Portugal will want to play against possession-based teams because I think because Santos is such a defensive coach, he will prefer to counter than to have possession and really be the dominating team. Because I don't think Portugal can maybe break teams down, but they can definitely counter teams if you give them space. But yeah, look, Spain are going to be interesting to watch. They're not winning it. They're not winning it. Like, they will not be one of the strongest teams. I think they'll just be competitive, and I think it is good that for Enrique, this is what they had to do to embrace the future. You have to just embrace the future. If you just embrace the future and accept that we can't play the kind of football that we played with Xavi and Iniesta, that's not going to fly. We have to play something different, man. So, in that sense, they'll be excited to watch. Because Traore isn't amazing, but he can do amazing things. And he makes a massive impact. And he's a great tool to have in your team. And Ansu Fati is, who knows, 17 years old, still a teenager. Who knows what that kid can do? So that's my thing, man. But like Portugal, like I think they'll be there and around. They'll be there and around, because look, Cristiano still seems strong. He still seems strong, and I think he knows the kind of role that he has in the team. So, because my thing is like, so how old is he going to be in 2022? Because I think that's going to be the last chance he has for winning a World Cup. Because now that would be funny, man. If this guy somehow ends up winning the World Cup in 2022, man, because that is his last chance. That is his 100% last chance. I mean, how old is he now? Cristiano Ronaldo age. So he's 35. So he's gonna be. So he's gonna be. So it's gonna be 36 next February. 37. 37. So how? Okay, so you guys don't believe he'll actually play in the other World Cup? 37 is old. Because look, after that's like 38, 39, 40. Like, guys, who knows? Maybe he plays when he's 41. You know, maybe he plays when he's 41. Um, but like he'll be there. He'll be there. In what shape he'll be in, I don't know. You know, because put it this way, he looks after his body very well. So has Ibra. And Ibra is what, 38, 30, and look at what Ibra is doing at his age. So if Ibra can do this at 38, 39, then there is no reason why he can't do it as well, man. But I mean, 37 is old, man. 30, I mean, at a World Cup trying to do your thing at 37, it's old, man. You know. But what I always say to guys is that, you know, look, because I really thought, you see, after that Portugal Spain game, I thought that, yeah, man, this could be it. Like when Messi missed the penalty, I was like, but when Portugal did that thing with Spain and he got the hat trick, I was like, okay, I think this could be it. And then they had Uruguay. I was like, this could be it. This could be it. This could be where he now does his thing, man. But Uruguay were like, nah. Cavani was like, nah. I'm sorry about that. We we can't have that. We can't have that. We can't have that, man. No way. Um, bro, look. Wait, guys, please explain to this guy how I roll with my streams. I'm the stream merchant. I'm the stream. Nobody streams the way that I stream, man. I'm revolutionizing what it means by live stream. That's what, guys. This is the content crack. This is the content crack. Okay. All right. I'm giving you that content crack, man. And then for a few days we sort of rested without any content, but no channel gives you that content crack the way that your boy HH gives you that content crack, man. You know. I'm the content crack king. I'm the content crack king. And now don't even ask me who is going to win the World Cup next year, man. Or rather in 2022, because I have no idea. You know what? I have no idea. But France have a fucking crazy squad. The squad that France has is insane. Absolutely insane. 24-hour stream, man. You're crazy, man. A 24-hour stream is absolutely. But I said again, if Nigeria win the World Cup or Chelsea win the treble, I'll do a 24-hour stream. You know, I'll do a 24-hour stream if any of those guys win the World Cup. So if Nigeria win the World Cup or Chelsea win the treble, boom. But I need that seal, man. I need that seal. I need that flipping seal, man. You see, my thing is Messi, man. You can't retire without just winning something with Argentina. Just win something. Just win something. Because yes, you've done amazing, great, superb things with Argentina and so forth, but just win something. You know, just win something for Argentina, because you can't give me a Copa America. I mean, you can't give me a flipping just one Copa America. One Copa America. You can't give me that. And the thing about this is that you lost in back-to-back finals against guys who have never won this competition before. If you lost to Brazil twice, it is what it is. Or Uruguay, fine. But it was against guys who had never won the competition prior before. So in both of those finals, you were the favorites. You were the stronger team. You were the favorites. Because look, if Messi retires now, you've done all this stuff in the Champions League and so forth. Are we just supposed to ignore his international career? Like, ability-wise, just for pure ability, one of the best players that the game has ever seen. And if you're a football fan, you cannot deny the kinds of things this man has been able to do, the kinds of goals that he has scored, and just how good he is at the sport. Okay? He is an extremely, extremely good football player. And if you deny that, you're just a dumbass fanboy. But you need that silverware, man. You need that silverware. No. The Euro 2000, amazing tournament, one of the best Euros, one of the best tournaments ever. Euro 04 wasn't good, man. Wasn't good. It was very dry. Wasn't that great. Euro 08 wasn't that great as well. France were trash. Italy were trash. Germany were just slowly on the come up and so forth. But see, in 08, most teams were just trash. Euro 2012 was... I'm trying to think, Euro 2012. Euro 2012 was okay. It was okay, but again, most teams were sort of like on the come up. Euro 2012, it was okay. Euro 2016, I didn't like the new format. So, in truth, the only good Euros, truly, was probably Euro 2000. But Copa America, this last Copa America wasn't great. The last Copa America was probably the worst there's been. But most times the Copa America is always exciting. The Copa America is always exciting because it's physical, it's skillful, it's fast-paced, there is great individuality, it's played with ferocious passion. Because I've always said, like, in terms of skill and quality, Copa America. Like the football matches, the quality of the matches in Copa America are always top. So Copa America is the best in terms of just skill. And when you're looking at the Nations Cup or the Euros, it's up and down. Sometimes you may get good games, bad games, and everything. Because Euros, you can get some amazing games. Euros, you can get some garbage games. Some truly garbage crap games at the Euros. So the Euros isn't always consistently good. I think Copa America, more so than any other tournament, is almost a consistently good tournament to watch in terms of just the World Cup and everything, man. So the balls, who if you are taking the deciding penalty, for your country on a home soil, would you have the balls to do a Panenka? Because that takes brass balls of steel. Literal brass balls of steel to walk up and do a Panenka. Because that's just wild, man. That is just, you're like, to do that is wild. That is completely and utterly wild to go ahead and just do that, man. So the balls to do that, the bravery to do that is insane. Is insane, man. And not only did you do that on a home soil, that gave them their very first ever Copa America. And all thanks to Bielsa. Because Bielsa was the guy who really started that whole thing and really got that whole thing engineered, man. But Sanchez, man, sad case because At a point, man, Sanchez was, you could argue, at least top six, top seven players in the world. And how he just sort of went just off the boil. It's crazy how it's going to happen because Torres, what happened? Like, that Torres thing makes no sense. Between Liverpool and Chelsea, he didn't have an injury. He didn't have any issues. He seemed fine. He was at the peak of his powers. At that point, he was one of the best strikers in the world. Went over to Chelsea for 50 mil. Guy lost all of his powers. He just wasn't the same player. You know. And same thing with Sanchez. Like Sanchez, like at Arsenal, quality, amazing. Individually, literally carried that team, doing superb things. Moves over to Man United. His first game, I think it was like an FA Cup game against Oldham. I was like, okay, this guy's all right. Then afterwards, Ches was no more. And it's crazy how that happens. Look at Hazard. Hazard, superb for Chelsea. One of the best players in the world, top three for his last season at Chelsea. Moves to Real Madrid. So it is crazy how a singular transfer can just ruin a player. And what is that? Like, what is the reason behind that? Like, is it just something that is unexplainable, or is there something in a player making a move to a club and just sort of not really popping off? Not really being able to pop off, man. It's strange, man. It's very strange. Very, 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 very strange. Because look, man, Torres was money, man. Torres was money. Torres, that guy was top notch. But then it just didn't pop up for the dude, man. It just didn't pop up for the dude because, like, again, that's how you now talk about the whole what if scenarios. If Chelsea had that peak Torres, my God, man, Chelsea are balling. And how would that have changed what Chelsea could have done in 11-12? Fair enough, 2012, they still won the CL, and Torres also scored the real kind of deciding goal that just sort of messed up Barcelona. But if they actually had like a proper, like, if Chelsea had the Torres at Liverpool, at Chelsea, who knows? Who knows what they could have done, man. Shout out Almadist, Football Hop member. Why do you think no fans in stadiums has led to an increase in goals? See, this is an interesting one because normally I wouldn't say, if there are no fans, no players, they know this and that. But I think there might be a slight relation to there not being fans and you playing a lot more freer, similar to what we're seeing in the NBA with no fans there. Because I think that fans, specifically fans in the Premier League, fans in the Premier League who are much more active and demand more. Because people say, like, the reason why the Premier League is so quick and so fast is because of the fans. Because the fans want you to keep going, go forward. So maybe the increase in goals might be mentally, psychologically. You feel freer and you feel as if your less shackles are holding you. So therefore, you're able to maybe create more and do more and score more goals. Because, look, I can remember the last time where we reached this stage of the season in the Premier League and so many goals were scored. So the thing is that, would these amounts of goals be scored if there were fans? I don't know. So my thing is that, is there any relation to, because you would think that, so maybe the argument is no fans less pressure, you can express yourself more. Because if there are fans, you make a mistake, groans, or what are you going to mistake, and then therefore you feel less confident. If you look at someone like Serge Aurier for example, if he makes a mistake, which he does, he makes many mistakes, groans from the crown, and then if he does that, he'll now maybe second guess about going forward, wanting to take more risks. But if you don't have those fans groaning or anything like that, and it's almost like playing in a park, you will try more things, you will do more things, you're willing to make much more mistakes, and you won't be discouraged by fans sort of groaning anytime you lose the ball. So maybe that's being that teams taking much more risks, wanting to make much more mistakes and not being discouraged, more chances being created, and therefore probably more goals. So that may be the things, man. Also, I don't want to do another like fan flipping thingy, man. Yeah, but see, yeah, that was what ended it for him. He was still trash before then. So even before he missed an open goal, it was still like, wait, who is this guy? Because up to that time he missed the open goal, he just was not the same player. But that was just the all right, okay. Like after that, it was over. Like his confidence was just shot. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm because I once you miss an open goal like that, you're like mentally, and even when he went to Milan and so forth, and even when he went back to Atletico Madrid, it was like, yeah, he's done. He's done. And people forget how good Torres was. Torres was a sniper. Sniper. Like 1v1, that's a goal. 1v1, peak Torres, it's a goal, bro. It's a goal. Nothing coming close. So, I've got a feeling that fans at the Euros is still no guarantee. Oh, 100%. Like, the way things are going, Euro 2021 is going to be behind closed doors. It's going to be behind closed doors. We are no closer to getting a freaking vaccine for this piece of trash disease. Okay, we're not closer to getting it. So, and my thing is, I think I stop at the World Cup. World Cup is where now we need those fans. We need the people there. Euros, it'll be weird. It'll be weird, but Euros, all right, we can ride. We can ride at the Euros. You know, I'm cool. I'm cool with the Euros having no fans. It will be strange, but guys, let's keep it real, man. COVID is a piece of crap. Imagine this. Imagine if there was no COVID. If there was no COVID, we would have had the Champions League over 2 legs. So therefore, we would have had more matches with fans, and we would have had the Euros this year. I get it. We would not have had Leroy Sané, not have had Depay and so forth, but we could have had the Euros this year. Could have been enjoying a summer of the flipping Euros. So no, COVID. This is just the worst thing in the world, man. Like, if someone invented this whole thing or put this thing up, you're a bastard, man. You're an absolute bastard. Also, FIFA 20. So who has played FIFA 21? Is it worth getting? I haven't bought a FIFA game in. I haven't bought a FIFA game in a long time, bro. So is it? Because look, the thing with FIFA for me is like it's an arcade. Unless you make that game into a simulation and you make it feel real and organic, I'm not getting that, man. You know. So and I'm not trusting any FIFA reviews because of course they'll be biased. So you'll think that FIFA reviews are not going to be biased and make the game seem a lot better than it actually is. Nah, man. Sergio, why should I trust you? You know, why should I trust you that FIFA 21 is money? I don't know, man. From what I'm seeing, I'm not. See, I'll download the demo. Actually, well, do they still have the? If they have the demo, I'll download the demo. At the moment, I'm playing my Switch, man. I'm playing Animal Crossing. So you know, I'm building my farm on Animal Crossing, man. So oh, FIFA, FIFA. See, the thing with FIFA is they have those licenses, and those licenses are amazing. Like you know, the stadiums, the kits, and so forth. But that doesn't mean anything to me. I will always choose gameplay because it can look good, look pretty, have all that kind of stuff, but you have to pick up the pad. I don't even have my pad with me and play this thing. And if it doesn't play well, the graphics could be superb. Is what it is. And Pro Evo has always played much better than FIFA. You know, and guys, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. The their main aim is to get money from you dudes. That's what their main aim is. With those dumbass cards, like those Ultimate Team cards, that's what their main aim is. And it's mostly those dumb, stupid kids who spend real money on those cards. So it's a racket, man. You know, look, it will always look good. It will always look amazing, but you cannot honestly tell me that the gameplay of FIFA is better than Pro Evo. And the best FIFA is still FIFA 98. Road to World Cup, FIFA 98, still the best FIFA, man. Yeah, no. Master League is that. Nah, Master League is that thing, man. Master League is that thing, you know. But basically, the closest that we've gotten to a truly realistic interpretation of pro has been pro. No. The most realistic we've gotten to how realistic a football game feels is Pro Evo. Pro Evo is the closest that we've gotten. But it's still missing something. Because, for instance, you look at because that's why I'm envious of like NBA 2K and Madden, because it's like, bro, like NBA 2K, you can't get any better than that. That's basketball, you know. And also, I was like, why is it that there's never been a football game that has a career mode as good as a Madden or NBA 2K? Like NBA 2K career mode is fantastic. It's incredible. It's superb. Like how you do the different stories, the storylines and everything. Like they invest so much into it. But we don't really get that same kind of investment and detail either in FIFA or in Pro Evo. Like why haven't we ever had a career mode like NBA 2K in any of these football games? Um, let's just see, man. So we won the treble, but our players were disrespected. But honestly, how were your players disrespected? Obviously, judging by the Schweinsteiger AVI, you must be a Bayern fan. So how were Bayern players disrespected after the treble? I think after 8-2, everyone was like, okay, you know, when you smack up Barcelona 8-2, I think everyone was like, okay, like Bayern now deserve praise. Okay, they deserve praise. So I don't know how you figured out how you guys were disrespected, man. If anything, no, you guys were sort of like loaded by like, oh, like right now, Who is disrespecting Lewandowski, Muller, Neuer, Gnabry? Nobody. Oh, ratings, FIFA ratings. Who gives a damn about those? Don't you understand? They make these ratings for a reaction. They know these ratings are stupid. They know they're not. Guys, EA isn't like Konami. EA are money guzzlers. They're obsessed with money. And what they do is, because also these things, they do these things very carefully. It's like, if we can generate a conversation, generate a debate, specifically a debate that is engineered through anger, that is what will help people talk about the game, talk about the game, talk about the game. So they do these things intentionally. They put these ratings, they make it ambitious, they do it intentionally because they know what the real ratings are. They do it intentionally to get people to be pissed off. It's on purpose. Soon as when people get angry, like you're falling for the trick. They're like, aha. Like when Laporte says, "Oh, I'm not that slow," it gets people talking, it gets it trending, it gets it retweeting, and it gets people talking about FIFA. So it's all part of the plan, as Mr. Joker would say. Look, do you know what I would like? Is there needs to be a new company that makes a football game. Like, what would a Rockstar football game be like? Now, that would be interesting. If Rockstar made like a football career game, that would be cool. That would be cool. Just like a career game football. But like, I think there needs to. I want like a totally new company to make something completely different with a new engine, new look, new aesthetic from FIFA and Pro Evo. Like, see, and the issue is this. See, this is what I don't like. Which is what I think that FIFA needs to be a bit tricky. Why aren't the licenses open for everyone? But then I get it. It's called FIFA. But my thing is that these are just names. So you now have to charge billions for Pro Evo to get those names. I mean, it's that's for me is wild, man. That for me is wild. But as guys, I would say, like, look, just you download the option. It is annoying to begin with, but you just download the option file and you're good. Download the option file and you're good. Where do you rate Courtois? Where do you rate Courtois? As of right now, I would say that Courtois is. So if we say Neuer, Alisson, Courtois is the third best. Neuer, Alisson, then I'll say Courtois. Because Edison and De Gea have slipped in. I mean, Edison, man, my gosh, man. He has just totally just sort of like you see, the way in which Edison and De Gea have just slipped out has been like, fuck. And I never, ever was on the De Gea bandwagon. Never, ever was on the De Gea bandwagon. I never was. Because I always said that these Premier League dudes are shooting straight at him. They're shooting straight at him. You know the whole Oblak thing? Because someone said Oblak. Is Oblak really that good? Because my thing is that how many shots does he have to save? You're in a very, very defensive team. I think that for us to properly judge Oblak, I'd want to see Oblak for Dortmund or for Real Madrid or Barcelona, a very attacking team. Because yes, it's good and everything, but let's see you really get tested. Really have to be making those saves. So, as a runner, from what I've seen, in terms of performance, I'd put Courtois just above him right now. But for sure, the top, like Neuer is clear. Neuer is currently the only chief. He's the only chief right now. and then upper tier two is Allison, and then tier two I'd have Courtois, and De Gea and Edison are under review. They're both under review. Those dudes, man. How do you rate Denmark and Sweden's chances of winning a World Cup in our lifetimes? Not too high. Not too high. They. It depends. What is the likelihood of them producing like a Henrik Larsson? Because I think out of combining those two, Laudrup. Like what are the chances of Denmark producing another Laudrup or Sand? Or what is the chances of Sweden producing another Ibra, but specifically Larsson? I would always rate Larsson over Ibrahimovic. So, not very high. I think that, for them to overcome a Brazil, an Argentina, a Spain, a Germany, which are these are the teams that you will have to eventually meet and defeat to win a World Cup. I can't rate their chances very high. Like for me, I would actually rate the chances of an African country higher than a Scandinavian country. Like they'll be competitive, they can compete, but to win it in a lifetime, doubtful, man. Doubtful, very, very doubtful indeed, man. How high do you rate Henrik Larsson? Remember, Larsson was played in the very first World Cup that I saw. He was in. Because remember, he was at the '94 World Cup, and I don't know whether I think he might have been top scorer. I don't know whether he was top scorer, but he might have been top scorer. Because I remember him, yeah. No. Because I thought, did he score a hat trick against Bulgaria in that third player? Larsson was real good. See, my issue with Larsson was this: he spent too long at Celtic, and those were a lot of his peak years. Like he did amazing things, but I would have loved him instead of spending all that time at Celtic, which, because Scotland, that's a one-team league. I would have liked and preferred him to have gone to like a Barcelona, a United, a Juventus, and seen what he had done. But Larsson was a very good player. Very good player. Super smart player. Super smart player. And for me, yeah, I rate him above Ibra. If I was to rate him overall, I would say tier 2. Maybe up, yeah, tier 2. Tier 2. I think tier 2 was his ceiling. At his peak, at his best, he was a tier 2. I don't think he ever entered that upper tier 2 category. So maybe like the lower middle end of the tier 2 Scaramanga. The Great White Hope. What's it called? Erling Haaland. All right, let's see what you guys say, man. Guys, what time is it where you guys are at, man? What time is it where you guys are at? I see that's the thing. See, this international break has been good. It has been good. You guys like the vid and sub, like the vid and sub, like the vid and sub, like the vid and sub. This international break has been good, but because it's allowed me to just chill. It's allowed me to just chill because I think doing a lot of those streams was it's been a bit task, and also we need to re-up again for the Saturday hangout, and also need to think about what discussions we should have for the Sunday. What discussion we should have for the Sunday, man. So 7:45, 6:45, 12:46. Wow, 1 a.m. Okay, so you're now ahead. You see, that's why you East Coast guys are lucky. It's 7:46 p.m. because it's 12:46 where I am. Oh, 2:47 a.m. So no one. So is there anyone here in Asia? Is there anyone here in Asia? I'm seeing a lot of European time and a lot of American time. Is there anyone in the land of Asia? minute. Yeah, wait. Why wouldn't, of course, the minutes are the same. Oh, tu es en Paris. C'est magnifique, mon ami. Was it because I told you? Because see, this is where like because of COVID, man. Because the last time I went on a holiday, I went to a holiday in Paris, and that felt so good. Because I went to the Disneyland. I've forgotten the name of my hotel, and that was no, that was good, man. Because I went there, I chilled out because it had like a nice jacuzzi and everything. Then I took the train to the center, went to the Eiffel Tower, then I walked along the Champs Elysees, went to the Arc de Triomphe, and it was cool, man. It was cool. No. Paris was cool. Paris was cool, man. And I was proud because I managed to engage myself in a conversation in French fully with my Uber driver. So my Uber driver was Portuguese, but he spoke French, no English. And we just engaged in a French conversation about Portuguese woman, French woman, and everything, all the way through. So that was cool, man. That was cool. But yeah, like I need another holiday, man, for sure. I need, bro. Yes, Caribbean. Yes. Yes. I need that thing, man. I need that thing. I like because and also the woman in Caribbean, poof, those Caribbean chicks are height. Um, so let's say I hope people still are not having this debate as to what is the best league, cause you it's down to your preference. It's down to your preference. You cannot objectively give me a reason or an explanation as to what is and what isn't the best league. You just can't, man. Um, so it's just dependent on what league does it for you because trust me, there are guys who just can't stand the Premier League. The guys who just think that the La Liga is boring. So and most guys that say this league is amazing are the guys who are from that country or grew up watching that league, so therefore they have an affiliation to that league. See, for me, I sort of grew up watching all the leagues because I watched the Bundesliga because JJ Okocha played for Frankfurt. Um, I watched the Premier League because obviously I was a big fan of Zola, and Premier League was where a lot of Nigerian players played in. Of course, I watched. Wait, see now, I didn't watch a lot of La Liga though. I watched a bit of it, but not that much growing up. But then Syria was the biggest league in the world because all the best players in the world played for Syria. So Syria was where I really watched it, and then La Liga a little bit afterwards. Especially when you had the Galacticos coming through, the Ronaldo time, the Rivaldo time, and so forth. Also, Colombia saying what's up. Yeah, I said about Ole. Ole's going to get sacked, man. So guys, look, man. Let me sign out. Oops, let me sign out. So guys, I'll see you guys on tomorrow. Remember to like the vid. Remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys for that tomorrow. That football content crack on tomorrow. Stay true, stay real, stay sexy, stay sassy, stay lovely, and I'll see you guys on the other one. Peace to the out. Thanks for watching the vid, and remember to head to the official website for the latest on my blog, rankings, breaks, and the Hall of Fame on halffootballhot.com.